Oh, who do I have here to my left?
Who is that?
Hey, Mark.
It is the glorious and wonderful.
Glorious.
Glorious.
I'm flattered.
Is it
Lucas.
not Gloria.
Saylor. Not Gloria.
glorious?
Us. Yeah, Dad, the S. Us. Luke.
The glorious
Lucurious.
LUC.
Where are we going with this? Anyways. Welcome to today's Dental Bytes.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I'm hanging off on the sidelines here. You can't see me.
No, you
Hi.
can now.
Oh,
there
there
he
you can.
there he is, yeah.
That's nice. It's like a fireside chat over here.
It's fireside.
I'm sitting here with my nice little alien lamp.
At your hot dog stand.
Welcome to. Would you like a hot dog?
I would actually. I've been dying for a good hot dog.
Lucas is like, I could go for a hot dog.
Let's
Good,
go.
yeah.
Let's go down to Seattle. Oh wait, we can't go down there
No.
right now.
Can you skip the dishes of hot dog?
Who would sell a hot dog right now? A good one,
I'm sure there's a lot of good hot dogs.
Like
Isn't
a
there good hot dog place here.
a baseball,
Sure.
a baseball diamond style hot dog.
Welcome to Friday's Dental Bite. With us, we have Mr. Lucas Saylor.
Lucas Saylor, what do you have to say for yourself?
It's a beautiful day. I'm happy to be here.
It's a beautiful
Thanks
day,
for having me.
and you know what? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. He lives in the neighborhood now.
That's true.
Hey, did you're close by now?
Yeah, well, like a couple minutes away.
Sweet.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now we're gonna harass you
I
more to
played
come
a
by.
little bit of
Yeah,
music there.
anytime.
I'm not too sure what that is, but yeah, we have Lucas Saylor in the house tonight.
Marketing extraordinaire.
We're he's all brain here. This is just like
Really just a brain and
he's
legs.
all just brain,
Just a big.
I'm more than
and
that.
we're lucky to
Massive
have his
brain.
giant brain here because
He is more than that.
we love his
You're
brain.
an outdoorsman, aren't you?
You're way more than your brain. Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
know.
You
Are
have
you
an
an
affinity
out-
for the outdoors?
No, you're an outdoorsman.
Oh, yeah. Mountain biking, skateboarding, hiking.
Big
all that.
skateboarder, eh? That's.
Yeah.
I remember
Really?
you telling me your dream is to go and try like all the different parks out there.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I love going to Los Angeles and hitting the skate park on Venice Beach. That was a big memory for me. I want to go do that again. And
That's cool.
there's lots of like underground spots in Australia and South Africa I want to go check out. So
I'm in.
Very
soon
cool.
to come.
Count me in.
So
yeah.
my son got a Tony Hawk skateboard for his 12th birthday, and he has yet to ride it.
Did
Is
he
it
do?
Birdhouse?
Might be a birdhouse, yeah.
Did he do a 1040 on it though? On the half pipe.
No.
He was the first, wasn't he?
I remember when Birdhouse first came to Canada.
Mhm.
I sold it at a little store called Distrito in 1995.
Oh, there
That's
was
how
a
old I am. That's
there-
before you were born, Lucas.
there was a
Yes,
cool
it is.
little
I used to sell Birdhouse before you were born.
Yeah.
there's a cool skate shop in town a long time ago in the Surrey area. Oh, I forget what it was called, but it was a cool little
Yeah.
shop. It had all the kind of the skate brands, and
Yeah, there was a really cool one. In the
That was
Willowbrook
like-
Mall as well, but I forget what it was called.
that was like way before Lucas was actually born,
Back in the day.
Back-
Aging
Absolutely.
ourselves.
back in the early 90s.
What are we talking about today, Mark?
We're talking
What's
about
our topic?
our topic is we're coming in under dental bites, which get used to it. You're gonna see a lot of dental bites,
Bits
but
and bites.
Lucas, like whenever we get the chance,
Today's more of a bit because it's a short one.
it's a bit
The dental bit.
dental bits. Yeah, I like it. We should we're gonna start
bits.
a new segment called the dental
Dental
bits. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tyler on dental.
But a bite,
That was it. That's all you get.
yeah. It's like the simulation has only gone this far.
Short and
That's right.
sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet. But anytime we get a chance to chat with Lucas, it's always just a wealth of great information on modern day. How do we get busier in our business?
Marketing for the now.
Marketing for the now. And he didn't know today when he was coming over that he
No.
was going to be in front of camera.
Big surprise.
But guess what, Lucas? You're in front of camera, just like
It's okay.
that.
I think he's a pro now.
And
We keep throwing him in front of the camera much to his dismay. So
It's the only way to do it.
gotta get
Oh,
in there.
you guys didn't hear that, but
Sorry, go ahead.
this isn't really Lucas, but like this is kind of Lucas. I don't know.
Oh, man.
It wasn't really well placed, but
Wasn't that-
anyways, so yeah, we just wanted to get him, let's get him in front of camera. Like he's great for us. He's been fantastic for us, picking his brain. whenever we get on the call, he's got to go all the time, but we keep him on a call for as long as we possibly can, because he knows his stuff, and he lives and breathes in modern day marketing. So
there's two parts to this show today that we wanted to sort of touch on, and that was what's the value of having a dentist on demand listing, and what does it do for you?
Yes.
And then once you do have a premium dentist on demand listing, what's the next step? What should a dentist really be focusing on? Ooh, is that a soundtrack?
I'm just trying to make this an epic conversation.
I love it.
It's epic.
So the epic question is, what's the first thing a dentist should focus on when it comes to marketing? So let's quickly talk, Mark. So you're obviously, a lot of the engineering behind Dentist on Demand comes from your noggin. So tell us about what does having a listing on Dentist on Demand get you?
Well, here's the thing. So, if you're going to start somewhere, I like to talk about it like this. So the cost of a new patient, okay? So if you're not already thinking about, if you don't even know what you're paying for a new patient right now, that's the first thing to investigate. So, whether or not you're doing marketing, or, you have an SEO guy, or what did you pay for your website? What does it cost you to bring that new person through the door, right? To start with. From there, you can sort of determine, am I getting the best bang for my buck? So we, conservatively say that it costs $350 per patient. I love that I have this app with music. This is great.
So good.
I'm so inspired.
I think the cost per patient is higher than that.
It is probably higher than that because, the average person out there, and I'm sorry, they don't, it's a very complex system. You need to spend the time to do it. Probably there should be schooling for it.
Right.
To understand how to use Google, to understand how to use social media, and use all the pieces like we just did in the 9 pillars. You're understanding SEO, domain authority. You have a good website. You know how to create the right content. You know where to put the right content, and then from there, the staff has to be up to snuff and awesome on the front end to convert that traffic to become a patient of record. There's a big process there. So to say $350 per new patient is
it's higher because it's your time.
So there's not a lot of folks out there that have the time to figure the game.
Well, social media is such an evolutionary moving target. It's changing. It's rapidly evolving, and that's where we talk about dentist or marketing for the now in dentistry. Because to get your brand in front of the eyeballs, first of all, you have to figure out what eyeballs you want to be in front of, and then you have to go, okay, well, where are these eyeballs now? Are they still in front of the TV? Are they listening to the radio?
Well,
wait a second. There's 40 podcast streams that I was unaware of.
Well, here's the thing too. Those eyeballs, are they even the eyeballs that you're looking for?
Yeah.
So you can find eyeballs. That's finding eyeballs is easy. Finding the right eyeballs is the name of the game. So using the tools, creating the content. Having the foundational piece in the website for folks to now come back into your marketing stream and navigate through your website, go to your reviews and, this is a bit I trust this business, and then come to your business. That is a mambo jumbo.
Right. So the traffic has now come. You have a Dentist on Demand premium listing. Yeah. You sent a bunch of qualified traffic to practice. Lucas, what, in your opinion, what's the first thing?
Well, I'll close on
I jumped ahead.
On the whole. Sorry, Lucas.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, man.
I thought you were down there.
Have a hot dog. So wow. to close on the Dentist on Demand piece, we understand that eyeball thing. Okay, so the traffic that we're going to be sending your way has higher intent to come to your practice.
Yeah, we've pre-qualified.
Yeah, and it's a start. It's, Dentist on Demand, up your profile is, if you're spending, what is our top premium program? It's
$389.
$389. So, if you're looking at, per patient cost is $350, and you're getting 2 or 3 patients Yeah, I think I'm looking at it like I'm being conservative again. I'm seeing up to like 5 or 7 patients. That's a good value. That's a good bang for your buck. And that's why it's super important to really understand at least, the money that you're spending on your marketing in your practice. You at least know,
it pays for itself if you're getting one patient a month. Really?
Dentist on the profile does, yeah. But the thing that, like, the reason why you and, why we involved Lucas and we got into this is, a lot of folks are spending a lot of cash. And, I went into a practice in the summer and they're spending $12,000 a month. $12,000 a month in Google, just putting money into Google. They didn't know what they're getting out of it. And we were there on like the midday on a Wednesday in the middle of the week. And there was nobody in this 8-op practice in a fairly busy town.
Right.
And they're spending $12,000 a month. So,
So if we want to talk ROI, we say, look, here's a listing. At least look at it from the bare bones minimum. If you're paying $390 a month for a Dentist on Demand subscription, you're getting one patient a month out of it. You're breaking even with one patient a month.
Right.
So say, being conservative, you're getting 5 to 7 new patients a month out of this program, out of being on the Dentist on Demand platform. Now here we are. We're starting to see a little bit of like growth in the practice through this traffic that's coming through the Dentist on Demand platform. Am I okay to ask it now?
You can fire it. You can give
I'm like, I need to ask Lucas a question.
Yeah.
He's got a nice smile.
I know. He's like patiently waiting for us to ask him. So now that you're seeing some nice sort of conservative growth in the practice with our listing, in your opinion, where should a dentist be focusing after that?
Yeah, absolutely. I get this question a lot, actually, even from people you guys send me. We'll get a dentist and they'll ask, hey, I got Dentist on Demand. I'm doing social media myself. I have some SEO I've been doing, but I'm not really sure if I'm doing the right thing. What should I really be focusing on? And I ask them, what do you really want? Are you looking for new patients? Do you want high ticket services like implants or teeth whitening or braces? Right. And it kind of comes down to qualifying what they want first. And I find for the most part, dentists can do a lot of the social media themselves, or they can get support from people like you, which is awesome. But what they really want to be doing, I'm actually going to take a step back, go back to the cost of acquisition, that $350.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
I actually do think that's like a fairly decent number to go off of. Obviously, there is a lot of upfront cost to getting your business online and having a solid presence. But when you're looking at acquisition, getting a new customer in the door, I think that is a fairly reasonable number. And the reason I say that is because as a dentist, the first thing you would want to do, in my opinion, is the search marketing, is doing Google ads, Bing ads. The reason why is you're getting intent, you're getting people actually searching for your services.
Right.
And you can spend your budget on particular services. So say you're a dentist and you want more new patients coming in, but you want to have more focus on high ticket services like implants. We'll create a campaign generally around teeth whitening, or some kind of starter service that gets people in the door. And we'll have another campaign based around dental implants. And what we find between these two is the average cost per conversion, a conversion being a phone call or a form submission, is generally under $100. And once we kind of know that number, some practices we can get it down to like $40, which is awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
But I would say an average is probably closer to $100. If you have a $2,000 ad budget, you can get predictable results. You know exactly how much money you're spending and how many conversions, phone calls, and form submissions you can expect every month off that budget. And that's kind of the secret. Obviously, you want to have a great social media. You want to build SEO over time, but those things do take time before you're going to see traffic come in the door. When you do Google ads and Bing ads, you're going to get those immediate results. And then with other tools like conversion tracking, we can track the phone calls and the form submissions, and we can see how many of those actually turn into a real practice. So say you get 3 conversions through Google ads, all at $100, $300 total, but your front end closes one of them into a new implant patient. It did cost you $300 to get that patient, but you're getting $1,000 to $2,000 revenue service out of it. And that's where the numbers really come down. It makes a lot of sense.
You know what's really cool about that?
What?
The song that I put under that it's called Epic Heroic. And yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like you've summed it up. Like, Exactly. And like, I think that like there's definitely like so much confusion out there in terms of what to do, where to start, and I understand why the marketing community's been kicked in the butt, because it's like, man, I'm spending so much money and I don't. Okay.
I could just kill that.
Sorry, Siri.
Yes, the speaker really wants to get started.
She needs more pumping.
Yeah, but you're right though. I mean, I think marketing companies do get crapped on because they're like, well, hold on a sec. Like, you want Google ads? We got you Google ads.
Yeah.
Right. You wanted better SEO? We got you SEO. And it's like, well, putting your finger on the ROI it can be tricky sometimes, right? Yeah. Because these things take time to evolve and to grow.
The thing is, start with this, and I already said it. Start by calculating your entire marketing spend and what you've spent on marketing, and divide that by the amount of new patients that you've got. And from there, you have a base to start with. And I would argue, I would challenge the dental community out there that a lot of the dental community out there, they wouldn't be able to give me that number.
Well, I mean, who would, right? I mean, who knows that? Who has that information?
Yeah.
And I just say that in support of what you're saying, but also like in agreement with you that, I don't. Yeah. And that goes beyond dental. I think most businesses wouldn't know that.
Yeah. And, if you don't want to go down that route to figure that out, please call us. Send us a direct message, reach out, because let's figure that out.
But that's a really good point, Mark, is that, so I like the words that you just used, Lucas, predictable results, predictable outcomes. Those are dental terms as well, right? So I think those are words that, the clinical community can really get behind, because that's what they're striving for in their clinical outcomes. They want predictable results. They want to provide good patient care that they know is going to be successful. So when it comes to marketing, I think, predictable results, predictable outcomes is really what we're trying to achieve here. And when we talk about the cost of patient acquisition, it's how can we drive the cost of patient acquisition down, but at the same time get you a predictable result?
Yeah, and also, Ty, like, let's take a look at your practice, because, we can see possible areas of opportunity. You might, as a clinician, you might have a good idea of what you think, you should be going after, but the data might suggest something different. And we've seen it all the time. We've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars, like, no exaggeration, hundreds of thousands of dollars of opportunity within existing
operations,
the ledger, like the patient ledger. When we when we pull that information out and we do our analysis on the practice, like, we see it.
And really maximizing that internal. So just to clarify that, is that you might not need to spend a penny on external marketing, because you may have, 500 or 600 patients that just we need to pick up the phone and call and make sure they get in for their twice a year hygiene appointment, right? Yeah. So the internal, I would focus on the internal first and then start focusing on the external, going, okay, you know what? We've maximized our patient base, and more importantly, we've deactivated the people that aren't coming back.
Yeah, and that's another question to ask yourself is, or look into is, what's your active patient base? Not just your patient base, who's coming to see you on your, your standard of care. So, standard of care obviously is based on your hygiene program. How many folks are actually coming twice a year? What's the average in Canada? It's, 60% come once a year of Canadians.
Yep.
So, here we go. We have like an opportunity to go after 40% of folks that are aren't even going to the practice once a year.
Grow it by 40%.
We can grow. There's lots of opportunity in dentistry. So we see it. We're in dentistry. We're very well rooted. Even Lucas's dad is well rooted in dentistry. Darren his dad is a denturist. Built a.
Should we plug Brookswood today?
Absolutely, we should. Yeah,
so appreciate it.
Yeah,
Go
like
see,
Darren's built a very great denturist practice out in Brookswood Langley. If you have anybody that you care for that is edentulous that needs some help, he's your guy.
Yeah, so Darren Saylor, obviously the founder, with his wife Shauna, and Colin Hardy obviously is a partner in their practice as well. So both Colin and Darren are providing like top of the top service when it comes to creating great dentures. So
absolutely,
if you're out in the Langley, anywhere in the Fraser Valley, and you want a great denture or a partial, or if you need any of that kind of prosthetic work done, definitely check out Brookswood Denture Clinic.
And guys, you know what? Like, I don't want to take it too much deeper into the weeds here. Like, call us, please. Like, let's figure this out together. Let's figure out what's happening in your practice. And Lucas, give us some genius last words here. And now I'm
putting him on the spot.
Putting you
I got something
completely.
He's got something.
Yes,
yeah.
He's always got something.
Yeah,
so I think this is a great tip for any marketing directors in a practice or practice owners when hiring a marketing team. I find a lot of dental marketers or directors within a practice, they're very confused on which services they actually need. And like I said earlier, I would start generally with like Google Ads. You're going to get direct results. You're going to be able to see that feedback immediately. But I want to make a distinction between these services. There's convenience-based services and there's result-based services. Result-based services are based on ROI. Convenience-based services are based on, can you do it yourself or can you get someone else to do it that might be better? And things that are convenience-based services are much like social media management, content creation. These are things you can get an expert to help you with, but it's not necessarily ROI related. Things like SEO, things like Google Ads, things like social media ads, these things have predictable results. You can generally spend a certain amount of money and know kind of what kind of business you're going to get back. And if you have a system in place where you can actually capture that, you're going to be in a good place. So I want to leave that with you guys. And I think that's
a great point.
Dude, I threw you a pitch and you knocked it out of the park. That was awesome. Right on.
That was such a good, like a really well position.
Hang on. I've always
did it again.
I'm never loud enough. Like one day I'll
turn him up.
I'll figure this out.
Oh yeah. I have nothing else to say. Very well put. Very well put.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
I couldn't have said it better.
It's a great distinction to say, hey, there's two different sort of segments here, and to identify them, it's brilliant.
Wow.
There we go.
And that has been another week in the new life of and Tyler and I were talking about this earlier, like everybody's feeling kind of off, kind of strange.
It's a weird time.
It's a weird time. It's not normal.
It's unsettling.
It's unsettling. So, if you're feeling like abnormal, we also feel abnormal.
Well, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. I think everyone's got a bit of an unsettled feeling right now, and not everyone, but a lot of people have a bit of an unsettled feeling right now. And if you find yourself in that spot, you're not alone, and reach out and talk.
Yeah. At least at least you can listen to some epic music and feel inspired.
Lucas Saylor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Lucas.
Thanks for having me.
Sayonara.
We're
Goodbye.
still here.
It's like a long.
You gotta love when the software doesn't agree with you. Goodbye.
That's what happens when we go live.